Welcome back to This is the Pick,
Welcome back to the show, you guys.
and this is going to be a recap of the college football national championship game against Clemson and Alabama. Clemson win this one really convincingly. What was the score again?
I believe it was 44-13, I believe. I'll check
16, 16.
Oh, yeah, 16.
Alabama
44
scored
to 16.
Yeah. Absolutely domination by Clemson.
Yep.
I was not expecting this at all, honestly. I had Alabama win this game. I thought Clemson had a chance of winning this one, but
Yep.
I did not see Clemson annihilating Alabama
Absolutely
like they did.
not.
Clemson was not scared at the moment. They have athletes on both sides, just like Alabama does. They have a really great defensive line that came back and won another national championship. The sole purpose of why they came back. I thought that Alabama was going to take advantage of not having Lawrence, and that didn't really matter that much. No, it did because when Alabama ran the ball, they had a lot of success. But they banded it around a little bit too much in my eyes. I don't really understand why they were doing that. Tua, man, I think he's a really great quarterback. He's a really good kid. I mean, I don't know him personally, but he seems like a really good kid. But that's two times this season that he's gotten knocked around and didn't play well. And this time he was healthier than he was, honestly, in my eyes, than that Georgia game. And he just did not play well. 2 interceptions, could have been a couple more. He fumbled a couple times. Now, luckily, Alabama recovered those. He was just getting knocked around. That Clemson defensive line just absolutely dominated Alabama's offensive line. I was not expecting that. But I thought if Clemson wanted to win, they had to do that, and they did that, man. That Clemson secondary played really, really well. I was really impressed. Got to give it to Coach V, man. He was amazing in this game. He did so much things. He was coming from all sides on blitzes. Clemson was just getting pressure with 4, so they didn't even need to blitz all the time. Disguising coverages, just like an NFL team, and both quarterbacks, really Tua, he played most of the game. Hurts didn't really play that much.
He just came in the latter half of the game when they're getting demolished.
And Tua struggled, man. That first interception kind of really changed the momentum of his game. I think he thought that was man, and it was zone, and the corner jumped around and got a pick 6. And that second one, I just think Tua is so used to bombing on everyone, and he forgot that this team is as good as his team is. And, well, that happens. And Alabama's defense could not do anything against Clemson's offense. Number 8 dominated Rogers or something like that. That's his name, right? Rogers.
So.
Yeah, that freshman receiver is an absolute monster.
Oh, you're talking about Ross, my bad.
Yeah, Ross, Rogers. Ross, absolute monster. He had an amazing game. That catch, that one-handed catch is incredible.
That was crazy.
Hopefully that kid that he juked really badly is all right. He seemed like he got hurt really badly. Trevor Lawrence, man, Mr. Sunshine, he absolutely incredible performance.
Did not expect that from him.
Yeah, I thought he was going to play well in this game, but man, he was flawless. Absolutely flawless. He was not rattled at all by Clemson's, Alabama's defensive line. They didn't really get a ton of pressure. Did a little bit at times, but
even when they did, he still was standing in a pocket
and throwing darts and
not being
really
shaken
well.
at all.
Quentin Nelson didn't play well like Williams. I mean, Quentin Nelson plays for the Colts. Quentin Williams didn't play like I figured he would. He played well at times. He definitely
affected the game.
Yeah, but he wasn't dominant like I figured he would.
Right.
And outside of him, really no one else did anything. 33 played well. And really no one else played well. Corners didn't play well for Alabama. Thompson didn't play well. Yeah, man. I'm shocked, honestly. I thought Alabama was going to win this game. And Clemson absolutely annihilated them. People, of course, are overreacting, saying that the Alabama dynasty is over, which is ridiculous.
Long as Saban's there.
Long as Saban's there. Now, if Saban goes to the NFL, some which I don't see happening. That's going to definitely change things. But if long as Saban's there, I think they're going to be really good next year. I think this Clemson team will be really good next year. So Alabama and Clemson probably going to be playing the Natty next year as well.
Possibly.
Georgia's probably going to still be there. We'll see about Oklahoma. Ohio State, we'll see about them as well. I think LSU has a chance that they can get their offense figured out. Florida, like Ryan said off camera, Florida, definitely look out for them. Yeah, man, some teams that definitely have a chance of giving Alabama and Clemson the run for their money, but
Yep.
I don't think anyone's close enough because Georgia can't beat Alabama. Oklahoma's still not consistent enough on defense.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
And LSU's still not good offense, and Ohio State, we'll see. I mean, Urban Meyer's one of the greatest coaches ever, and we don't know about Ryan Day. The only thing I really know about him is he's a pretty good offensive coordinator, and he looks like the human version of Homer Simpson. So that's about all I know about him. They hired a defensive line coach from Michigan for their new defensive coordinator, so we'll see about that. Ohio State definitely. We'll see about USC. If Cliff Kingsbury goes to the Jets, then I don't see USC doing anything. Oregon's another team. Mr. Cristobal, I really like the Oregon team. Outside Oklahoma, I pretty much root for them. And I think they're building something as well. So I think they have a shot as well. I think they're a couple of years away from legitimately causing some mayhem in playoffs, but who knows?
Alabama, or A&M. They're right there in that balance too.
We'll see. Mod's a pretty good quarterback. Jimbo's a really good coach. They've been recruiting really well. That defense was good this year.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have the Jimmies or Joes like they need. Offense was all right. They had a hell of a running back, and if he comes back, then I think he's gonna have a really good season. They have good receivers, so we'll see, man. I don't think Alabama's dynasty's over, and
No,
this Clemson team is really, really good. We'll see, but that's all I really got to say about this game, man. I'm really shell shocked, honestly. Kind of knocks the SEC a little bit off their pedestal a little bit.
Knocks especially about Alabama.
Yeah, Georgia got creamed. Alabama got creamed. And outside of other SEC teams, they didn't play super well, but they got some dubs. So SEC really good still. But the two big dogs got kind of quiet a little bit in this postseason.
All right.
Yeah, so that's all I got to say, man. Amazing win by Clemson. Alabama, you guys are not going anywhere in my eyes.
Yeah, y'all going to be all right. To me, as long as you got Saban there, y'all going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been shown before Nick Saban can be beat in these games.
Yeah.
So it ain't like it's, something new we just saw. No, he could get beat. He could get outcoached, and that's what happened. He got outcoached, in my opinion. I think they were over prepared. I think Clemson was, and Alabama. I don't think they were as prepared as Clemson was. I think that's one of the big differences as well.
Just a second, right? In Oklahoma, man, you can say all they want about them, but 3 teams have played Oklahoma in the playoffs. All 3 of those teams have lost in the national championship game. So, want to say what you want to say. Oklahoma's hard to beat, and they take a lot out of you. So, I might have a little bit to do with it as well. Alabama kind of what I thought. That's why I had Oklahoma had a little bit of a chance to beat Alabama because everyone's so saying that Alabama's the best team ever and yada yada yada. And I thought if people say you're the greatest ever so much, you kind of start believing your own. And I thought that Oklahoma had a chance, but of course our defense sucked and we didn't get off a good start. But that's all I gotta say. Go ahead, Ryan.
But yeah, man, I just think, like I said, Alabama was outcoached. I think they were outplayed, outperformed, and all that. I don't think Alabama was prepared for Clemson to be this ready, and I don't think they were going to see this good of a Lawrence. And I was kind of in the same boat as Adam. I figured he played pretty well, but I figured he would have a lot of nerves in the beginning. I figure he would make a couple mistakes that would be, kind of big and detrimental to Clemson. But no, man, he was poised through the entire game. outside of maybe 4 or 5 throws that were, a little bad. Outside of that, he played fantastic. When Alabama did get pressure in his face, he still stood in that pocket, took the shot, and made an accurate throw down the field. So he impressed me, man. He was one of the biggest quarterbacks to come out of high school for a reason.
People say that he's the greatest high school prospect ever.
About that, but we really don't know. We never know. But
well, since the rivals and the recruiting sites.
Okay. But yeah, man, he just shows that there's a reason why he's the starting quarterback for this team, man. Yeah. He just showed the poise. He didn't panic. He didn't make panic throws. He when he was clean in the pocket, he would make sure he would set his feet and make sure it was an accurate throw. So he was being the quarterback they absolutely needed him to be. And on the flip side, man, Tagovailoa had a rough day. Really overall, outside of maybe the running game, Alabama got pretty much shut out in every aspect. And that's what kind of boggles my mind is why didn't they run the ball more? It was very, very effective even in the beginning of the game. So one of my buddies is an Alabama fan, and he brought up a great point. Since our big man Wilkins was in the middle, and he makes it even more threat of a rush defense, that they could probably air it out and be more effective in the air. But no, this secondary was completely prepared for Clemson, and they made it a rough day for receivers to try to get open. If I really remember, I don't remember seeing a whole lot of Alabama getting wide open. No. So they did a great job of swarming them receivers for Alabama. And
I mean, Dexter Lawrence wasn't playing. He's their best running defense. I don't understand it. Run the ball more. Every time, for the most part, when you guys ran the ball, good things happened. Yeah.
Like I said, my buddy, he brought up a great point. I just felt like it seemed like Alabama felt like that they were going to be more effective in the passing game when they weren't. And when the running game was working, they just didn't stick to it. They just ran a couple times and then go right back to passing the ball. So, yeah, man, I could definitely say this wasn't the best coached game by Saban by far. No. They were it was like a 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. It went. They lined up for a kick.
4th and 6.
Was it? Oh, really? It was a 4th. Jesus. So that makes that even worse. So. Clemson was prepared. They had their defense out there to prepare for a pass or something. They weren't in no type of kick block coverage at all. They were in a complete defensive set.
6th man coverage, what they
right, and they decided to go ahead and run the play, which was they handed the holder, which was a quarterback. He would get it and run with it, and they were completely prepared for that.
The lead blocker was a kicker.
Right, in my opinion. In that point, Saban should have seen how they were set on defense, took a timeout, and just either went for it or just went ahead and kicked it.
Yeah.
He just let the play go on, and it was an awful decision. Clemson got the ball back, and I believe they scored on that drive too. So
I don't remember about that.
I believe they did, and that kind of made it wide open and made it even more of a gap for Clemson. I honestly thought this was going to be a good game.
It looked like it at first.
I definitely thought Clemson had a chance. I wasn't these critics out here that a lot of people saying that Clemson had no chance.
No.
But I definitely did not see this coming.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I did not see this coming. I really honestly thought this was going to be a shootout, and whoever had the ball last was going to win. It was looking like that too to begin the game. But yeah, Clemson ended up just kept the pedal to the metal, and Tagovailoa, man, he just made a lot of mistakes in this game that was very uncharacteristic for him. That was a hard word for me. Uncharacteristic of his play. The first one I'll let go. I'll let slide because it was a confusing looking, because it looked like he was going to play man, then he just sat down and
he was getting blitzed.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let that one slide, but that second one, I don't know what he's seen. No. The receiver he threw it to was double covered. I don't know what he was seeing there,
It
but
looked like he was throwing to the defensive player.
right, he completely threw it to him, and it was an easy interception. Very, like I said, just very uncharacteristic for him to be throwing that ball. You know, I don't know what his deal was, if he got rattled or what, but I think that's one of the big points too that Clemson did was. That's the thing. You can't just get in Tagovailoa's face. You literally have to hit him and get in his mouthpiece, and that's exactly what they did. And
Like Ryan likes to say, rattle his cage.
and I think that's what affected him is he's not used to seeing pressure and getting hit like that, and it rattled him, I believe. And yeah, it was a big turning point in the game. I think that was, like I said, and I always say this: if you can win the turnover battle against Bama, you have an extremely good chance to win the game. And that's what happened, man. They won a turnover battle and took advantage of it. That's the other thing you got to do is when you get those turnovers, you got to take advantage of it and get points out of it. And that's exactly what they did. Yeah, just really before I get out of here, I have to say what an amazing job Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers did because it's hard to shut a Bama team like this down. And this is arguably one of the best Bama teams we've seen in a while. So that's what puts the icing on the cake for them even more is they beat a really good Bama team. Yeah, and they were just, to me, they were more prepared. They were better coached in this game, and it showed. And, you know, yeah, Saban and them are not done. People are out of their minds if they think that. He's going to come back. They're going to be, right there in the same discussion. If not, then I would be really shocked if they even lose 2 or 3 games next year. I'll be shocked at that. So
I'll be shocked they lose 2 games.
Right. So, yeah, I think they're going to be right in the same position. Clemson, they're going to be right in the same position as well. Lawrence is looking like he's going to be that man and that truth. And if they can continue to get some good defensive players, which is they're known to do, and keep this offense going, then they're going to be right back in the same position. But great win for Clemson. What a shocking way to win. I did not expect that. And, yeah, go Tigers, man.
Yeah, last things I got to say is I think this Bama team got a little rattled. I think they weren't expecting the Clemson to punch them in the mouth like they did. But like I said, great win by Clemson. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that USC-Texas game, that upset first time with Vic Young.
Yep.
Everyone's saying that USC team's the greatest team ever. Texas had no chance, and
We
see
beat
what
'em.
happened. Texas and USC was a great game, and this was a blowout. But still, same sentiment. That's what happens if you listen to, like Nick Saban says, the media is like rat poison to these players, and I kind of agree with that. Especially ESPN and how much they're biased when it comes to SEC and Alabama. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Great win, good national championship, kind of. I'm glad I enjoyed it.
I wouldn't say we hate Bama because hate's a strong word.
Yeah,
But it's annoying to see them win.
we're a little salty OU.
Yeah,
fans.
it's that, and it's just annoying to see them win so many times,
Yeah.
and nobody really does much about it. It's good to see somebody kind of show them that they're not as dominant as I wouldn't say as they are, but they're not as dominant as a lot of people will put them as, and they can be beat, and they proved it.
And seeing Coach Venables doing really well makes me happy as well.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm definitely looking forward to next year. Love college football, definitely my favorite sport, and Ryan loves it as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's all I gotta say.
That'll do it for me. Please comment, like, subscribe. Of course, love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. We'll see you on the next one.